Hi there, welcome to FPL Focus. I'm Paul Livesey, and this is your indispensable guide on how to play FPL. Whether you're new or whether you've been playing for a long time and looking to up your game, I've put together some tips to help you assemble a winning squad and hopefully not get left behind by more experienced managers in your mini leagues. Okay, let's get on with it, shall we? Okay, so I've put together 20 tips for you, one at a time. We shall go through them bit by bit. And first thing you need to know is you need to understand the scoring system. Okay, players earn points for goals, assists, clean sheets, saves if you're a goalkeeper, bonus points. For example, if you're a forward, you'll get 4 points for a goal, 5 if you're a midfielder, 6 if you're a goalkeeper or defender, 3 points for an assist. And it's really important that you get to understand this when you're picking your players. Okay, number 2. Pick a strong starting 11. Okay, it's essential you pick a strong starting lineup, particularly of players that play regularly. Somebody who's performing consistently. Hard to know at this stage of the season, but looking at the last season, you should be able to pick some of those out. Okay, tip number 3, budget management. Balancing your budget is critical. Don't overspend on lots of premium players and then get left with a load of budget players that aren't going to really deliver you. Distribute your funds wisely to create a well-rounded squad. Particularly look for those low-priced midfielders who've been in good form and can offer some great value. They're really good value for your teams. Number 4, study the fixtures. Keep a close eye on the upcoming fixtures. Analyse the opponents that your players are going to face to make any informed decisions, and they can help with captaincy as well. For example, if a striker has a set of easy fixtures, it might be an ideal to put him in your team, especially if he's been performing well in the last few game weeks. Diversify your squad is tip number 5. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, basically. Include players from different teams and positions to minimise the risks and maximise your potential points. For instance, having players from various teams can give you a better chance of earning points regardless of which team wins or loses. So if you're tripled up on a team and they do really well, it can do you really good stuff. But if you triple up on a team and they perform really badly, it can really damage your game week and your rank overall, particularly if they then go on a bit of a bad run. So it's about weighing that up. But I particularly recommend early days parts of the season to diversify your squad. Number 6, pay attention to player form, because players in good form are likely to score big points. It's as simple as that. Stay updated on recent performances to make the right choices. For me, a midfielder has been scoring goals and providing assists consistently in the last few matches. And equally, if their XG is quite high and they've come close a few times, these are some good indicators that they're in current form. Tip 7 is to follow injury news. Injuries can be absolute game changers if you're not aware of them. Always check for the injury updates. Plenty of websites out there. Problem is, if one of your key players gets injured, you'll need to make a transfer to replace them. And then that can cost money, particularly if you've done an early transfer in the week. So stay up to date with those. Your bench can save you in times of need. Make sure you use your bench wisely. Tip number 8. Have capable substitutes ready to step in if your starting 11 disappoints. You're looking for budget here. So those £4 million defenders, those £4.5 million midfielders and forwards that are getting some minutes and are playing are gold dust. And equally, if you've got a defender who's facing a tough fixture, could be good to switch those around. Always good to have somebody solid as a backup on your bench. Now, tip number 9, utilise your chips smartly. Now, FPL, if you're new to it, will offer points during the season where we have double game weeks and blank game weeks, and those are without doubt some of the best to use. So you've got your bench boost, your triple captain, free hits. You'll get 2 wild cards as the season goes on, one to use up until game week 19 and one to use afterwards. So making sure you plan these in and don't just use them in the first couple of weeks because they look good and shiny buttons to press. Use them smartly. Okay, tip number 10. Monitor your price changes. Now, if your new player prices fluctuate based on performance and whether people are transferring them in or transferring them out, basically how popular they are. Be smart with your transfers to gain maximum value. Now, for instance, if a player's form is on the rise, their price will likely increase, making them more expensive to bring into your team later. Just be warned with some of the previous tips about injuries and things like that as well. It's calculated risks at the right time, which you'll get to learn as the season goes on if you're new to the game. Okay, check player ownership. Tip number 11. Okay, keep an eye on the percentage of managers who own certain players. Consider differential picks to gain an edge over your rivals. For example, if a particular player is heavily owned, having a lesser known but equally talented player can help you stand out in the rankings if they perform well. Okay, but your differential has to do better than the player that they are in instead of, if you like. So if you're going for an £8 million player, as opposed to Martinelli, for example, lots of people playing as Martinelli, and you're thinking I'm going to go for, I don't know, Raheem Sterling. Well, then he's 7.5, I think, at the minute 7. If you're going to go for him instead to save a little bit of money, then actually he's got to perform as well as the player and hopefully better for it to make a difference. So just be a little bit careful on those. Player ownership can really hurt you if you don't have highly owned players sometimes. Not if you've got a differential though. Tip 12. Analyse the bonus points. Bonus points can make a big difference to your overall score. Understanding the bonus point system can help you to make better decisions for sure. Players who basically are contributing to the game, scoring goals, keeping clean sheets, saving a penalty, all these small things, if they're playing the game, creating big chances, successful tackles, key passes, etc., scoring goals that win matches, high pass completion rates, etc., all contribute towards bonus points. And they can be a massive source of points. I think, Kieran Trippier, for example, got a lot last season and can really boost you on a weekly basis. Okay, tip 13. Avoid knee-jerk reactions. One for myself. One bad game doesn't make a bad player. Avoid making hasty transfers based on one single disappointing performance. So if your star forward blanks in one game, don't immediately transfer him out unless he's got bad fixtures and you are edging on that anyway. Give him another chance in the next match, I would say, before making a decision. Very easy to make those knee-jerk decisions, particularly if it's somebody who generally does pretty well. If they missed out this week, then probably could well score next week, especially if they're a 25 season, goal scorer. Then, patience is key sometimes in FPL. Tip 14, research the set piece takers. Players who take set pieces can be invaluable. If they're taking corners, they can be getting assists for goals. Taking free kicks, they can be on for goals. They've got a higher chance of delivering points through these set piece situations as well. All these little things, these are like the extra little percentages over your goals and your assists. Tip 15 would be to consider the team form, not just the players' form, because players from teams that are on winning streaks are more likely to be in good forms themselves. For example, if a team is consistently scoring goals and winning matches, their attacking players are more likely to be among the points. And then it's about choosing the best ones, I suppose. Tip 16 is to monitor rotation risks. Some players may be rotated frequently. Those who like to play pep roulette, might be going there myself, be cautious when selecting them to avoid losing points, particularly if they're getting left on the bench. If you've got a player like that in your squad, that first bench position, very important. I wouldn't have more than one of these in your squad though. If you're going to have somebody who is possibly, if you're thinking Phil Foden, for example, hands up, I am. You need somebody who's going to come in off the bench if he doesn't play. Okay. Tip 17, be patient with new signings because they do need time to settle in. There's always, the exception to the rule. That's the words I'm looking for. Erling Haaland last season hit the ground running. But for every Erling Haaland, there's a Timo Werner from the season before and lots of others. I would say be patient, observe their performances before bringing them into your team. Highly touted new signings may do well overall, but sometimes they need a bit of a time to adapt to the league and then, get to know their teammates before they're performing consistently. So generally, new signings to teams, be patient, wait. Tip number 18, analyse past seasons. Analyse past seasons. Learn from the past. Study the FPL data from previous seasons to identify consistent performers and trends. Some players consistently perform well throughout the season, while others have hot streaks, then go through dry spells. And it's those that go through the hot streaks that you're looking to bring in and out of your team. You want some consistent ones that hopefully you're not going to have to transfer in and out too much as well, though. Tip 19. Touched on this earlier with your chips. Plan for the double and the blank game weeks. They offer great opportunities for big points. You might want to use your bench boost. You might want to use your free hit chip on a blank game week. Most of these generally come later in the season. Although we do have a blanking game week 2 because Luton ground not quite ready yet. So Luton and Burnley already are blanking in game week 2. So these are the sorts of things you do need to know about. And then my final tip. Tip 20 is to join some FPL communities. Lots of people talking about things, engage with fellow FPL managers. You can get their insights and share your strategies and get a second opinion on things, which sometimes can be crucial. You can follow me. You can see my link is just below there on Twitter, FPL __ focus. Paul Livesey. You can find me with that one. And that's it. So there you go. That is, if you've got any more tips, do share them in the comments below. Do remember, FPL is a game of skill, strategy, and very much a huge dollop of luck. Okay, but you do need to make your own luck in these games. Okay, share your comments in the below. Any tips that I've missed whatsoever. Thank you very much, and I wish you the very best of luck for game week 1. Do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Join the league. The code is just below there, the Who Really Lovesit League, where we will do analysis every single game week on who people are transferring in and out, and I shall share team of the week, etc. for that as well. Okay, lovely. Thank you very much. Take it easy. Bye.